Okay, so the plyometric press up. It's one that's famous within a lot of the training montage videos on YouTube and in the movies. Basically, it's a ballistic variation of an upper body movement. Now, strictly speaking, without getting too pedantic, it's not actually a plyometric exercise due to the contact time, but it's what we talk about in terms of generating explosive power. So what you want to do is assume the press up position, okay, with your feet approximately hip to shoulder width apart. If you want to go slightly narrower, because some people prefer to, that's absolutely fine. Just remember that the more narrow your foot position is, the less stability you're going to have from a rotational standpoint. With your hands directly beneath your shoulders and slightly outside shoulder width, or whatever is most comfortable for you, you're going to generate that tension throughout the abdomen. Keep a little bit of extension within your thoracic spine, okay, but make sure again that we're keeping the neutral position with the lumbar spine, as we do with all press up variations. There's two different variations you can do. For the first one, you want to slowly lower yourself down to the ground, and then when you're in that bottom position just before touching the floor, you rapidly extend, okay, so push yourself away from the ground. I like to cue people to think about pushing the floor away from them, okay, so imagine pressing the earth down, drive as hard as you can until your body actually leaves the floor. The height at which you leave the floor, okay, doesn't actually matter within the earlier stages. What matters is keeping a solid structural position. So rather than flopping your entire body just to get your body off the ground, like you'll see in a lot of these training montage videos where people lead with the hips just to get that kind of kipping effect, keep a solid structural position, focus on generating tension and power with the upper body, press the floor down until you leave the floor. Even if it's just your palms that leave the ground, okay, as long as there is a continual acceleration component to the movement, you'll get those neurological adaptations that we get with power. Now, the second variation you can do is to introduce the myotatic variation, which is to emphasize the stretch reflex. From here, you'll be in the top of the press up position, you'll brace your abs, you'll focus on generating tension throughout your body, and then you will rapidly lower yourself down and rapidly transition and rapidly extend. So the focus should be on making the movement as quick as possible, trying to get that elasticity and train that stretch reflex. Again, with this one, it's all about the solid structural position and maintaining tension rather than just focusing on getting your body off the ground. Final thing, and the final variation, is the consecutive plyometric press-ups. Now, this is a highly advanced variation, but we can obviously talk about it towards the end of the program. With the other two variations, in between each repetition, you want to land, okay, as you do with any landing, unless specified otherwise to employ a stiffer strategy, you always want to focus on absorbing the landing. So you will catch yourself in a slight press-up position, return to normal before going on to the next rep. With the third and final variation, with the consecutive press-ups, you're going to do just that. So you're going to do the maximal power extension, your body leaving off the ground, and then you're going to catch yourself going straight into the next plyometric press up. So as you can see in the video here, there is consecutive press ups taking place one after the other. This is a much higher demand on the stretch reflex and a higher neurological demand, so it's just something to bear in mind for the more advanced individuals.